Today we are diving into one of the most complex and dangerous military rivalries in the world, the missile balance between Israel and Iran, a confrontation defined by cutting-edge defense systems, massive missile arsenals, and a future battlefield that could reshape the Middle East. This is not just about technology. It is about strategy, psychology, and deterrence in an era where a single decision could ignite a regional war. To understand this balance, we first need to look at why Israel and Iran are locked in such deep strategic competition. These two nations do not share a border, yet they are connected through proxy conflicts, covert operations, cyber warfare, and missile threats that span thousands of kilometers. Missiles are the central weapon in this rivalry because they allow power projection without direct contact. Iran has spent decades building one of the largest missile arsenals in the world. Unlike air forces that require expensive aircraft and pilot training, missiles are relatively cheaper, easier to mass produce, and extremely difficult to stop once launched in large numbers. For Iran, missiles are both a deterrent and an offensive tool designed to overwhelm advanced defenses. Israel, on the other hand, has focused on survival through layered missile defense. Its strategy is not to match Iran missile for missile, but to intercept, neutralize, and limit damage long enough to maintain military and political control. This is where systems like Iron Dome come into play, supported by more advanced layers that are often less discussed. Iron Dome is perhaps the most famous missile defense system in the world. Designed to intercept short-range rockets and artillery shells, it has proven itself in multiple conflicts. The system uses radar to track incoming projectiles, calculate their trajectory, and decide whether they pose a threat to populated areas. If they do, an interceptor is launched to destroy the target midair. What makes Iron Dome impressive is not just its technology, but its efficiency. It does not waste interceptors on rockets that will land harmlessly in open areas. This selectivity is crucial in prolonged conflicts where interceptor missiles are expensive and limited in number. However, Iron Dome was never designed to face massive ballistic missile attacks on its own. This is where Israel's layered defense concept becomes critical. Above Iron Dome sits David's Sling, designed to intercept medium-range missiles and advanced rockets. Even higher is the Arrow system, specifically built to counter long-range ballistic missiles that could potentially carry unconventional warheads. Together, these systems form a defensive shield that is among the most advanced on Earth. Iran understands this layered defense very well, and its strategy is built around defeating it through numbers and diversity. Instead of relying on a single type of missile, Iran has developed a wide range of short, medium, and long-range systems. Some are liquid-fueled, others solid-fueled, allowing for rapid launches with little warning. A key concept in Iran's strategy is the missile swarm. Rather than launching a few high-value missiles, Iran could launch hundreds or even thousands of rockets and missiles simultaneously. The goal is not necessarily to destroy every target, but to overwhelm Israel's defenses, exhaust interceptors, and allow some missiles to get through. Even a small percentage penetrating could cause serious damage. Missile swarms exploit a fundamental limitation of missile defense. Interceptors are expensive, while many offensive missiles are relatively cheap. This creates an economic imbalance where defenders must spend far more money to stop an attack than the attacker spends to launch it. Over time, this imbalance can strain even the most advanced defense systems. Iran has also invested heavily in precision guidance. Early Iranian rockets were inaccurate, relying on sheer numbers. Modern Iranian missiles, however, are far more precise, capable of striking military bases, infrastructure, and strategic targets. Precision reduces the number of missiles needed to cause serious disruption, increasing the effectiveness of any attack. Another critical factor is Iran's use of proxies. Groups aligned with Iran across the region possess large rocket arsenals that can be launched from multiple directions. This creates a multi-front scenario for Israel, forcing its defenses to respond simultaneously to threats from different ranges and angles. Defending against one front is difficult enough. Defending against several at once is exponentially harder. Israel's response to this challenge is not purely defensive. While missile defense protects civilians and infrastructure, Israel also relies heavily on intelligence, early warning, and preemptive action. Airstrikes, cyber operations, and covert missions aim to disrupt missile production, storage, and launch capabilities before they can be used. Early warning is especially important. The sooner an incoming missile is detected, the more time defenses have to respond. Israel's radar and satellite systems are designed to detect launches almost immediately, providing precious seconds or minutes that can mean the difference between interception and impact. However, even with perfect detection, no defense is impenetrable. Israeli military planners openly acknowledge that some missiles could get through in a large-scale conflict. The goal is not absolute protection, but damage limitation. Reducing casualties, preserving critical infrastructure, and maintaining command and control are the real objectives. Iran, for its part, uses missile capability as a form of strategic messaging. Every test launch, every new missile design, is a signal to adversaries that Iran can strike back if attacked. This messaging is aimed not only at Israel, but also at regional rivals and global powers. Missiles give Iran leverage in diplomatic and military calculations. The psychological aspect of missile warfare cannot be ignored. Even when missiles are intercepted, the constant threat disrupts daily life, affects economic activity, and pressures political leadership. Missile alarms, shelter warnings, and the uncertainty of impact create a form of psychological warfare that extends beyond physical damage. Looking toward the future, technology is rapidly changing the missile balance. Hypersonic weapons, maneuverable reentry vehicles, and advanced decoys could make interception far more difficult. If such systems become widespread, existing defenses may struggle to adapt quickly enough. Israel is investing heavily in next-generation defenses, including directed energy weapons like high-powered lasers. These systems promise much lower cost per interception and virtually unlimited ammunition, as long as power is available. If successfully deployed at scale, they could dramatically change the economics of missile defense. Iran is also watching these developments closely. As defenses improve, offensive systems will evolve to counter them. This constant cycle of measure and countermeasure is at the heart of the missile arms race. Neither side can afford to stand still. Another factor shaping the future is regional involvement. Any large-scale Israel-Iran conflict would likely draw in other actors, either directly or indirectly. Missile launches could come from multiple territories, and defense systems would have to prioritize threats in real time under immense pressure. In such a scenario, decision-making speed becomes critical. Automated systems and artificial intelligence are increasingly being integrated into detection and interception processes. While this increases efficiency, it also raises concerns about escalation risks if machines make rapid decisions with limited human oversight. The balance between offense and defense also influences political calculations. Strong defenses may give leaders confidence to take risks, believing they can absorb retaliation. At the same time, overwhelming offensive capabilities can deter attacks by threatening unacceptable damage. Stability depends on how both sides perceive this balance. For now, Israel's missile defense network remains one of the strongest in the world, and Iran's missile arsenal remains one of the largest and most diverse. Neither side has a decisive advantage that guarantees victory without severe consequences. This mutual vulnerability is what maintains a fragile deterrence. The real danger lies in miscalculation. A limited strike intended as a signal could escalate into a broader exchange. Missile defenses might intercept most incoming threats, but the few that get through could trigger retaliation, drawing the region into a cycle of escalation that is difficult to stop. Ultimately, the Israel versus Iran missile balance is not just about Iron Dome versus missile swarms. It is about how technology, strategy, economics, and human decision-making interact under extreme pressure. The future of Middle East warfare will likely be shaped less by single weapons and more by how entire systems perform under stress. As new technologies emerge and regional dynamics shift, this balance will continue to evolve. What remains constant is the high stakes involved. In a region already marked by instability, missiles represent both a shield and a sword, offering protection while carrying the potential for devastating destruction.